I posted it 4 hours ago. The thread is live. 3,000 people saw me say I'd prove budget supermarkets force nutritional compromise, and now 1,200 people have seen me post findings that say the opposite. The comments are already splitting. Someone called me a sellout. Someone else said I clearly don't understand food science. Another person posted a screenshot of organic broccoli with the caption, "You seriously can't tell me these are the same." My sister texted, "Are you actually sure about this?" And I'm sitting here with two receipts: Waitrose 87 pounds, Aldi 48 pounds, same ingredients, same week, and the only thing I am sure about is that I can't take any of this back now. This started 3 weeks ago when my sister called with that flat, exhausted voice that's worse than crying. She'd spent 103 pounds at Tesco on what every health blog said was proper shopping. By Thursday, her kids were still hungry and she was ordering pizza. She said, "Just tell me what I'm doing wrong." I said I'd investigate. I genuinely thought I'd find it. The exact point where saving money costs you nutrition, that's what everyone says exists. That's what I've always believed exists. Week 1, I built a meal plan. And HS guidelines, 5 a day, balanced portions. Bought identical ingredients at Waitrose and Aldi. The numbers came back: Waitrose 87 pounds, Aldi 48 pounds. I sat staring at these receipts thinking I'd miscalculated somewhere. That's 39 pounds weekly, over 2,000 pounds per year. If this was real, someone would have mentioned it. This would be everywhere. My first thought wasn't that I discovered something. It was that I'd made an embarrassing mistake I just hadn't found yet. So I started checking everything twice, picked up Waitrose chopped tomatoes and Aldi chopped tomatoes. Read every word on both tins: ingredients, tomatoes, tomato juice. Nutritional values per 100 grams, identical. Waitrose for 5p, Aldi to 8p, same pattern with rice, with pasta, with frozen broccoli. Every single time, ingredients matched, nutrition matched, prices wildly different. And I kept thinking there must be something I'm not seeing. Some processing standard or sourcing difference that justifies the gap. Then chicken, Waitrose British chicken breast, 7 pounds and 50 pence per kilo. Aldi, 4 pounds and 89 pence per kilo, both Red Tractor certified. Both showing 31 grams of protein per 100 grams. I stood there holding both packs thinking one of these must mean something different. So I called Red Tractor directly. The woman who answered sounded confused about why I was asking. I said, "Does the certification standard change depending on which retailer sells it?" She said no, same UK regulations everywhere. I asked about the price difference. She paused. That would be about retail operations, not the product itself. I thanked her and hung up and felt this weird dropping sensation. If she's right, then price has been telling me something about quality that isn't actually there. I bought 7 days of ingredients from Aldi, cooked exactly as I normally would. Didn't tell my family where anything came from. Monday, vegetable stir-fry. Tuesday, baked salmon. Wednesday, chickpea curry. Thursday, homemade pasta sauce. After the week, I asked if they'd noticed anything different about the food. My daughter said the salmon was good. My partner said everything tasted normal. They couldn't tell the difference between 87 pounds of groceries and 48 pounds of groceries. Then I found something that didn't fit. I was comparing oats, Waitrose Scottish porridge oats and Aldi Harvest Morn porridge oats. The ingredients matched. The nutritional values matched. Prices, Waitrose 75p, Aldi for OP, but the Waitrose packet said suitable for celiacs and listed a dedicated gluten-free facility. Aldi's packaging didn't mention it. I called Aldi customer service. They confirmed their oats are processed in facilities that also handle wheat. For most people, no issue. For anyone with celiac disease, a genuine difference. And I sat there thinking, if I missed this, what else am I missing? I called the nutritionist anyway. I showed her everything. Didn't tell her which supermarket, just showed her the meal plans and asked if they met balanced diet guidelines. She reviewed it for maybe 10 minutes, then said yes, this is well constructed. So I told her it was all from Aldi and cost £52 for the week. She went quiet for a few seconds. Then she said, "You realize most people won't believe this." I said the data matches, the nutrition matches. She said, "People have been taught that caring about their family costs money. If health is cheap, it forces them to ask what they've been spending on." I didn't know how to respond to that. I still don't. I started noticing how supermarkets are designed. Waitrose opens with organic vegetables, free-range proteins, premium displays with soft lighting. Your brain registers those prices first, and everything after feels like settling for less. Aldi doesn't organize by premium tiers. Everything has equal visual weight. Which sounds fair, except if you don't know what you're looking for, nothing's guiding you toward better choices. Then I thought, maybe I'm testing the wrong thing. Most people aren't buying raw ingredients to cook from scratch. They're buying solutions to what's for dinner when I'm exhausted. So I started comparing what people actually buy: ready meals, pre-cut vegetables, marinated proteins, anything convenient, and everything changed. Budget-ready meals had significantly higher sodium, more added sugars. Ingredient lists with stabilizers and preservatives I had to look up. Premium versions were better, but not dramatically. The gap I'd been insisting didn't exist in basic ingredients absolutely existed here. My entire investigation had been built around people who have time to cook from scratch, people like me. I took everything I'd found to my sister's house. Printed out the comparisons, the meal plans, all of it. I spread it on her kitchen table, ready to show her how she could save £180 per month. I walked through the numbers, explained the patterns. She looked at everything and said, "When do I actually cook this?" I said probably around dinner time. She said, "I leave work at 6, the kids need homework help. Dinner has to be on the table by 7. I can't spend an hour chopping vegetables and cooking from scratch 5 nights a week." I just sat there. So I built something different, Aldi products that required under 20 minutes total. Rotisserie chicken, bagged salad, microwavable brown rice, frozen vegetable mixes, pre-made sauces with short ingredient lists. The weekly cost went up to £60 for pounds, but the time investment collapsed. She tried it for 2 weeks, said it worked. Her family felt more satisfied, the meals came together quickly. But then she said, "I know this makes more sense, but I still feel like I'm cheating somehow. Like I should be spending more if I really care about them." I didn't say anything. The Oxford research was already open on my laptop. Research from Oxford compared nutritional content across hundreds of products at different price points. For basic whole ingredients grains, proteins, frozen vegetables, dairy, they found no meaningful nutritional differences. The gaps only appeared in processed convenience foods, where budget options consistently contained more sodium, more sugar, more additives. The conclusion was straightforward. If you cook from scratch, price doesn't determine nutrition. If you rely on convenience, it often does. Which means the people who have time to cook don't need this information. And the people who don't have time can't really use it. The comments on my thread keep updating. Someone just posted, "I've shopped at Waitrose for 15 years and my family is healthy." Explain that. Someone else, "This is dangerously irresponsible advice." Another, "You've clearly never actually compared the quality." My sister sent another text an hour ago. "People are asking me if you're okay. And I keep coming back to that moment standing in Aldi with the basket that cost £48, trying to understand what was missing. British vegetables matching certifications. Recognizable ingredients. Nothing was absent except the feeling that I was doing something responsible. The system works perfectly because it makes us believe we're choosing between affordable and healthy. But we're actually being forced to choose between time and money. And both options feel like choosing between caring and not caring enough. Premium pricing doesn't buy better nutrition in basic whole ingredients. It buys the feeling that we're trying hard enough. Budget shopping doesn't compromise health when you're cooking from scratch. It just requires time that most people don't have. If you have the capacity to cook from scratch even 3 times a week, switching to Aldi or Lidl for basic ingredients will save you substantial money without nutritional loss. Read the ingredient lists, not the marketing. Compare own brand basics across stores. Try it for 1 month and track both your spending and how your meals feel. You'll probably find what I found, that premium pricing is often buying perception, not nutritional value. But if you can't cook regularly, this doesn't actually help you. The system charges you for not having time, and I haven't found a way around that. I wanted this to have a clean ending. Budget supermarkets are nutritionally identical for basic ingredients. Switch and save money. Investigation complete. But it's more complicated than that. The cheapest option requires time. The convenient option costs money and often nutrition. The premium option is frequently identical to budget, but wrapped in packaging that makes us feel like we're making responsible choices. And I've just told 3,000 people my findings, knowing some will think I'm wrong and others will think I've missed something obvious. Maybe I have, but these are the patterns I found. Whole ingredients are nutritionally equivalent across price points for basic staples. Convenience foods are genuinely worse at budget stores. Time is the hidden cost of affordable healthy eating. And we've built a system that monetizes guilt instead of solving actual problems. Next time you're standing in a supermarket aisle holding to tins of tomatoes with different price tags, you'll hesitate. I still do. Subscribe if you want more investigations that don't resolve neatly.